the thing about hip hop culture, like first and foremost, is a culture. And by definition, culture is a way of life. So like you were saying earlier, like a lot of people say they're b-boys. Like to me, respectfully, that's a title you have to earn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never even called myself a b-boy until like I felt like I deserved it. You know what I mean? I think you two is like the perfect bro, because like bro, it's like bro, these guys, it's like the 1-2, bro. Yeah. It's like the jab and the cross, dude, for real though.
And of course, like when the guests come out, we try to make them feel as home as possible. Like, so
right on, dude.
That's when the real stuff.
When you feel comfortable, that's when the real like you can relax and you know what I mean.
So you grew up. So you grew up where you say like all your life?
I was born on Oahu. I was premature, so I was just born there. I stayed at Queens Medical Hospital. Was there for a couple months and straight back to the Wai'u house, bro.
Oh, okay.
Born and raised right over here in Wai'u, bro.
And then what high school you went then?
I went to Baldwin.
Oh, okay.
I went to Baldwin.
I feel like there's a lot of Baldwin Kamehameha. We never get too much of anywhere else. Baldwin Kamehameha. Oh, Maui High actually we had too.
I'm surprised he's never had one Maui High.
I know. I thought
right.
That's one thing we gotta.
That's cool, bro. Real talk, Maui High.
There you go.
Like growing up, that was a little bit before our years. It's like a little bit younger than us, but kind of just tell us what got you into breakdancing, like, or what inspired you, to go down that path.
My family is a very like on my Hutaff side. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jimmy Hutaff, the old foam company. That's my uncle. He's actually one of the biggest inspirations, bro. That he's like, because him and his brother Yukani, who passed away unfortunately when I was. I think I was like 7 years old. He actually used to dance. He danced for Michael Jackson at one point. He was the youngest teacher at UCLA. He taught ballet, and he spoke like 7 different languages. He's lived in like Germany. He's lived in so many different places in the world, and he was a professional dancer. And so when I was younger, I used to like always be around him. And I remember when he passed. I remember being at the funeral, and I was just sitting down, and I was. At that age, I think I was watching like You Got Served and stuff like that. And I was like playing around with handstands and, whatever with my friends when I was younger. I remember just sitting there and I remember just like, I had such an affinity for my uncle. He's literally my biggest inspiration before he passed. And I remember sitting at the funeral being like, you know what, dude, I'm going to make it. At that moment, I decided like, I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to pursue the arts. Yeah. That's what, in a general sense, whether it be dancing, because I was in theater as well. Like I was a big theater kid as well, and so was he. And I joined the Baldwin Theater Guild because of him.
Nice.
And that kind of ties in together, theater and dancing. I feel like it's kind of like
you gotta perform.
All
of it's under like the performing arts umbrella.
Yeah. Okay.
And which is it's funny because that's a distinction that a lot of people don't make. Is like you can be a dancer, but it takes a lot more to be a performer. It's one thing to just go to a studio and learn a quick 8 count. Rather than to go on stage like a Bruno Mars concert and really perform. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
So I started that when I started at 7 years old. So I'm 29, about to turn 30.
If you started at 7 and your parents probably first got you into, or you was just like...
My dad was a b-boy.
See, so there it is.
That's usually the story, right? Yep. So my dad was a b-boy and he used to always talk about it, and like he would always put on breaking music because he knew I liked to dance. So I kind of just nurtured that passion. For me.
And he grew up in Oahu.
No, he was Maui boy, Maui boy.
So, man, we can even have him on. That's like the generation before your generation.
My dad is an OG, bro. For real, dude. He knows all the older b-boys too. That like Preston. I don't know if you know Preston Alvarado guys.
Oh yeah.
He used to break. He used to break too.
That's pretty sick that there was a scene even before your time, because like we're over here tripping that there was one when you was young, and now to know that there was one back when your dad was young, man. That's like,
so I guess b-boy was in your blood, you know what I mean? So like when you what was the first like move you following, or whoever taught you your first move, and you kind of like land them like, oh bro, Okay,
it's called a 1990. So it's when it's taken from capoeira essentially, but it's like when you spin on one hand in a handstand. So imagine if I'm in a handstand, I like go one hand.
Bro, that's the first trick you learned. Like that's the first one.
Just go all out on the first one.
Because the
like what is that one? The one that you just do the right before
top rock.
You don't even start with that. You just
I never
just straight to your hand.
You know why? Because I was always doing handstands. Handstands was my thing. Like till this day, I always say this jokingly, but I kind of low key believe it. I don't think anybody can handstand longer than me on the island.
Okay,
bro. Bro.
You heard it here first, bro.
Because bet me when Arizona Green Tea and Musa B, we can run it.
Handstanding. Yeah, speaking of like handstanding, bro, how you kind of stay in shape to kind of like, because bro, you've been doing it for how much years? You said?
Shoot, so 22 years.
So you hit the gym what like? Is that like a daily or weekly thing or?
Honestly, I have a love-hate relationship with the gym because coming home and being tense afterwards, and not only that, like it's funny because I injure myself more in the gym than I do dancing, which is kind of wild to say, but because like pinching nerves and like not lifting. My mom's a bodybuilder and like
so she kind of guides you on that.
She tells me a lot of things, so like I know I have like a really bad like a lower back, so that's the only thing that I really go to the gym for. But the way I stay in shape, honestly, is like, bro, you can catch me running samples like in the morning all the time.
Yeah, running.
Honestly, it's through practice and teaching is what really.
I guess practicing too. That's a workout in itself.
Remember, I think I was saying earlier, I felt like when breakdancers like when they work out, it's like all like just body, like
calisthenics,
like
body
push-ups,
stuff,
sit-ups, you know what I mean? Just because they gotta just be one with the body, bro.
That is true.
That's why I stopped b-boying because I have a pretty bad back too. So you know what I mean? Like I have to stop with my top rocks and stuff. You know what I mean?
The back will do it to you, bro. For real.
Speaking of that, man, shout out Jaire, man, because that's some big boy, man, that's swinging around.
Yeah, man. And not only that, Gyro was, dude, I guarantee he still can. He was, bro, he run him on, bro, that guy.
He was, I mean, I remember hearing about him too, like just growing up. Like, cuz man, just big brother, and cuz he can break dance, blah, blah, blah. And then when he showed me the video, I was like, I remember watching that video when I was young. Like, cuz wait, that's cool. For the big boys.
If everybody watching right now that don't know who we talking about, is brother Jaire. Go check out his podcast, man. It's mean.
Gyro is the man.
The pastor, man.
The pastor. Yeah, he is a pastor now.
He is, man. I never even knew that until like I think it was the day or like that night he came in. He told me, and I was all like, "Oh, man!" So that was a big.
You guys remember the Wailuku First Friday breakdance battle that happened like on Market Street? That used to be right in front of Request Music.
I was just gonna say it was in front of Request, but I feel like all things like street kind, like whatever,
because they get the main stage right there. So every
how long ago was that?
This, bro, they did it every year, and I think it obviously stopped during COVID, and when they was building the garage. They stopped having First Friday, but they usually do it yearly every August. First Friday.
Is that where they used to have like the guys go like tag stuff too, like or like street
the murals
art?
And stuff like that? No, that's my friend. I don't know if you know brother Matthew. He runs I think it's called Ski Walls. I think he's one of the directors. So that's a completely separate thing. That's the one I did the battle with Gyra. Was at the Uptown Get Down. Yeah, it's First Friday in August, which is coming back this August. Actually.
Because I did see that.
First Friday gonna have a breakdance banner. Yeah, I'm gonna be MC, so I'm organizing.
We might have to bring the mics and see what's up. That'd be mobile. All of our stuff is mobile, man.
That actually would be sick.
We'll just be in the crowd.
We just in the crowd.
But just go around and interview people, bro.
I would have been like, what?
You might see us there, man.
I would have been, what do you rate that? A 10? Nah, right, that wasn't that fire.
Bro, just like funny clips like that would be sick, though, bro.
8.5.
That's a good idea.
Speaking of that, then, how you guys did then, you and Jaire, on that battle?
Bro,
that one time you guys went.
Oh, man. I think I was in 5th grade when I did that. That's when I just started. I think that was my first or second competition I ever done.
Oh, so Jaire, he was like in... high school.
Yeah, he was high school.
Yeah,
he was high school, bro. So I was nervous, dude. I was so nervous. So I really don't even remember. It's on YouTube somewhere. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Check them out.
Send in the link, then maybe we can just pop them up on the
automatic. Guaranteed.
For sure.
Right, because I was watching your Instagram, like your reels you post too, and like cause I was like, man, it's fucking how
thank you.
I mean, like versus
like
what I see in movies. You know what I mean?
Like anybody can say they're on B-boy, but when you look, it's really when you look at their videos, like, okay, this guy get action.
Because this guy is in like competitions like with people. You know what I mean? Like,
check them out, bro, on Instagram. Why Who Breaks is their crew.
Who Breaks, bro. I gotta represent for the hood, bro. I gotta represent for the hood
action,
always.
Man.
Bro. I mean, talking about that, like who your crew you roll with, and like you know what I mean, what's their, like, shout them out? Or?
Yeah, so for the Maui crew, which Alipio is kind of like, right, he's always at we call him family. I don't know.
And you guys all from Maui?
All from Maui.
Oh,
so I'm in 3 different crews. I'm in a crew called Bad Habits.
Bad Habits.
Yes, and this lineage goes deep, bro. For this crew, like people like Preston Alvarado would know, and there's it used to be called D4TC, Down for the Culture, which is when I believe it was a clothing store in Kahumanu or Maui at the time, and they ended up sponsoring my OGs, and they repped that brand, and later on they created a new crew called Bad Habits. So that's all of my like people who took me under their wing. Shout out to John Blaze. Shout out to Brandon Harima, who owns Aloha Gold Buyers. All those people, like, those are the people who curated me to, like, really from young boy time. If it wasn't for them, I probably would have been so lost into like what this really could become. I probably wouldn't have like went for it. So that's my first crew I ever joined. That's my number one, like, what I grew up with. The second crew I joined, which is the more active crew, which is the crew I compete with, was also my family. I've grown to, like, I live with these people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, sleep, like.
Right.
It's called 808 Breakers.
808 Breakers.
Yeah, and we're a little bit. That's the crew that's a little bit more renowned.
Still
like,
all Maui guys.
No. 808 Breakers is
okay.
actually originally 808 Breakers. I'm the 4th generation.
Okay.
So I believe 4th generation. Yeah, and we have someone from New York that's in the crew. We have someone.
Nice.
We have people from all over.
Versatile.
Yeah. But we all lived on Oahu together. So that, like, you know what I mean?
Get that link then. Yeah, you guys are on link over there.
Yeah.
And then the third crew that I'm in is called Floor Gangs. So Floor Gangs is a worldwide crew. So there's chapters in Korea, there's chapters in Japan,
planning traveling.
Yeah. So you can think of it like an MC, like a motorcycle club, right? So we have cut sleeves and stuff like that. We have matches. There's rankings and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Because originally, a lot of people don't know this. Originally, like, b-boys come from the gang culture. You know what I mean? So, like, in New York City, when when people, that song Brooklyn is Burning, that's when everybody was, going wild and rampant in New York. So, like, the Black Spades, the Chingalings, these are, like, the Zulu Kings. These are all, like, people who, like, are actually from gang culture. And later on it developed into breaking. And, like, breaking was, like, I guess you could say, and it's hard for me to speak on this without, sounding like I'm talking for them. But from what I've gathered and when I've talked to the OGs and who've given me information, is that it was just an outlet for them to, like, really let loose without like harming each other. So that's why you see a lot of, like, mannerisms in breaking that come from gang culture, like pockets out. Like, a lot of people wear their pockets out when they wear sweatpants and they break.
Like baggy clothes.
The pockets is out, so that show they don't have no weapons on them. You know what I mean? So those ideologies and different things within gang culture translated into breaking as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's cool.
Right. So that's my 3 crews: Bad Habits, 808 Breakers, and Floor Gang.
Where you guys travel, like, the whole world, and, like, how you guys tell us a little bit about, like, competing, like how's that vibe, like?
Nah, the competition life.
Sorry.
No, you go.
No, my bad.
No, you're good.
I was what you call? I was just gonna say, is it like a point system? Like, do you have to?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Is there like okay, he went to like 3 battles, he got like 3rd place in this one, 1st place in this one, so he moves up to rank or something.
So it's the way the bracket is set up itself is usually tournament style. So top 16, top 8, semifinals, and then finals, right? Or whatever it may be. The way it's judged, now it's moving more towards, like you're saying, which this is a good question. It's moving more towards a point system, for sure. So, like, you look at the Olympics, right? If you look at the judging way, the way they judge, they have, like, different categories. So one person is for, like, style, power, top raw, whatever it may be, like a specific category. But in a majority, like 90% of the other competitions all around the world globally, it's just judged by 3 or 5 people or any odd number of people, and it's all subjective. So so let's say if you two were competing and I was a judge, right? They'll watch the rounds, whatever they're doing, 2 or 3 rounds each, and at the end they just point. So it's basically
that's technical.
It's pretty subjective. Every person judges a little bit differently, but and they have their own criteria. But so that's where it gets a little gray area.
Yeah, so you kind of gotta be good with the crowd. You gotta be, you know what I mean. You gotta do moves that's hyping up everything.
Yeah, exactly. Crowd plays a big factor in it.
Bro, I feel because like
big factor.
If the crowd is making noise for one person, like obvious.
Exactly.
Obvious.
That whole situation you just explained remind me of like how the Olympics. Like when I was watching it, that really opened my eye. When I was watching it live, I was sending him videos of like the guys breaking. I was like, bro, how's these guys, bro? Like it's like you got served, but in real life, bro. Like you guys is killing it, man.
But the competition scene is exactly what you think it is. So like how like in movies, but sometimes I feel like I'm in a movie when I'm traveling abroad and competing.
Like if you're on point, bro, it's like is this guy like in a movie?
Right? Hopefully one day.
And what is song? Do you get to choose your songs, or do you like
so that you dance into whatever the DJ plays?
Okay. So like, bro, like sometimes like I feel like when guys do a move and like how the move comes to an end and then like it hits like right on the drop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes my guys miss them and then I'm like, I thought but in my head I'm thinking, didn't they have this like?
Yeah.
They didn't know they were gonna play this song.
So this is so interesting to hear these questions because like I can't look at breaking from the public eye anymore because I've been in it so long. So like it's good to hear like the perspective like, oh wow, so like I didn't realize like some people probably do think that we choose the music.
Or at least have like 5 songs that you give the DJ and then like when he plays it, you can do that.
The DJ is the heartbeat of the whole entire event. So they're
because I know the Olympic one, it was just all straight off. Because you would know, because when they start playing it, you see the dancers like, okay, and they start thinking.
Exactly.
And I think what I'm getting confused is like I think they gotta play the same song for each person.
Yeah,
they don't have to. They don't have to.
Really?
No. So sometimes
just for like even, you know what I mean?
Sometimes they do. So it depends. Like so, let's say the DJ plays a track, right? One person goes out, does a round. Another person goes out, does a round. Then when the other guy comes back out, he might switch the track. He might not. So sometimes the DJ plays that same track throughout the entire battle, like for that whole battle. Sometimes they play 5 to 6 different tracks. It's all up to the DJ and how they want to do it. You
gotta keep you on like point, man. You cannot be like thinking, okay, I'm gonna bust this on the last round. Because then I did see that too, man. Like they would bust like little like DJ scratches and they would bust their move and that would look like sick, man. Like, so I'm sure like the point system will go way up if you bust like little stuff like that.
That's a category called musicality.
Okay.
Yeah, musicality can be towards like if you're actually dancing to the music and you're actually on count or on beat. Secondly is playing with the lyrics and using specific instruments and isolating it. You know what I mean?
Man, so that's like for them to do that on a freestyle, man, that's crazy.
And I feel like that's why that guy from the Red Bull one, the one that just went viral a little bit. That like was he from Taiwan or something or Singapore? He was from Singapore.
Yeah.
And he did like that.
Tutting.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I've seen that. Yeah, that's Red Bull dancer style. Yeah,
but I think because that in my head like he hit every beat every beat when hit and he was. I was like, it gotta be like he knew this song. You know what I mean?
We practice so much to music that like because we practice the specific kinds of music and like and that's how you can tell who practices a lot and who doesn't is people who like as soon as a song comes on you're like, oh, I've been practicing this song. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got this song.
Every song they practice.
Or even like the similar style, like, okay, I got this. Like this is
you're talking about the Rebel Dancer style one, right? The one where the viral video, right?
Yes, so, a super viral one.
Speaking on that, I actually competed in Rebel Dancer style, the Honolulu one. Okay. And How's This Guy was the MC and I battled against Dunok, the guy from Super Crew. The one who was in like all like the movie. That
was like that was one-on-one or cruise?
One-on-one. Yeah. This is before Rebel Dancer style was like blowing up. This was like when it first really came out. I think this is the second year they were doing it. Yeah. So I competed in that against Dunok and he's in
how you did?
I think I did all right. Yeah? It's the only thing that I didn't like about that competition. It was crowd judged. Yeah, which is like it's
hard, bro.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's
right.
What they had on meter, or they just going off of ear?
Just off of ear.
Oh yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
Right? Some guys might be grabbing food or something like that, like during that time or something.
Yeah, all he's gonna need is like point. That's actually a good point.
And all he's gonna need is like 5 people that can scream really loud.
And I get just be by the judges. People in our family. If you go football games, you're gonna hear those loud ones.
Exactly.
And they're gonna be the loudest ones there, no matter how loud it is.
So. Just give Auntie a couple Heinekens. You know she's gonna be screaming loud.
She was wide.
She's gonna be cheering.
Yeah, that's tough if they judge it. That's you got served style. That's how they say
exactly. Yeah.
Movie style.
What is his name? Uncle what? Uncle.
What, the actor guy?
No, I know Steve Harvey, but what was Uncle Rod? No, what was the name of the?
Oh, what is the guy, the character's name? Oh, dang, I forget his name.
Like the warehouse or whatever.
Yeah, he's always putting the money in the yeah. That is Steve Harvey who played that.
Yeah. I just can't think
forget his name. I forget the character's name too.
Legendary movie, though.
Or Mr. Something. Anyway, how much moves, like, so say it's like a 3-round battle you about to do, okay? Mm-hmm. In your head, like, were you thinking, okay, I'm gonna use this one? Or if that guy busts out something, I'm gonna trump him with this move? Like, what's your process like going into a battle?
Or even on top of that, added to that, like, you saving your best move for last? Or you busting them in the middle or something? Or?
So through competing for many years, I used to save my rounds. I used to be like, okay, and I used to try strategize, and sometimes it would work, but 9 times out of 10 it didn't. And the worst thing is traveling halfway across the world, doing your first battle, and then feeling like you're able to save moves, spend 16 hours traveling, 6 months of training, all that money just to go there, dance for 2 minutes, save your moves, and then lose.
Yeah, that's true.
You're like, bro, I have so much more. I spent all this, bro. I spent grands to come here.
I guess, you cannot just save it all for the last battle.
Yeah. So now, bro, as soon as his first round, bro, I'm coming. Like, even if I lose, I know at least, okay, you know what? At least I left everything I could in that moment on the floor. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go back on the plane regretting.
Your first rounds is when you have the most energy too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you might as well do
and
your
you're making
trick.
A good impression. You know what I mean? True. So like you come out firing, everyone's like, oh, he's not playing today. Okay, you bring that attention to you. So for me, the way I compose my rounds is majority of the people, they do it, they call it sets. So sets of movement where they have pre-choreographed movements, and it's the same round every single time.
Okay.
Me, I for the life of me, I can't do that. I am strictly freestyle. Okay. So the way I put it is, instead of sets, I say quotes. So I have what we call every day or our bangers. So like I'll have like my signatures or like some moves that I practice. I'm like, so whenever I like to respond to the person, so I usually like to go second. Unless I'm trying to set the pace, then I'll go first, and I'll be super well-rounded, and I'll kind of like drag them to deep waters, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. But the way I compose my round is like, okay, bet he reminded me of that move I have. Okay, cool, I got that move. Okay, I have an intro and an outro. I'm gonna put that move right in the middle. I'll go out, I'll do that, and I'll just freestyle whatever my body tells me to do.
Okay,
exactly. Yeah. So I have an intro. Yeah. I have like the peak. And then the outro.
You really gotta paint the picture, right? You gotta know what you're doing before and when you're gonna end, because or else there's no structure. Then you might lose it halfway, lose the crowd, lose your momentum. Yeah, trying to think too much, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because speaking of that, even with like the Olympic battle, when I was watching it, like. A lot of them, they would come all out with like a super good move, but then throughout it wouldn't follow up. So like it would be like, he was good in the beginning, but that's tough. You gotta be busting moves, and I
totally get it. Like I totally get it, but their freaking moves they're doing is like crazy, like especially on the body. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like for them have that energy, or like for keep it up in the arena that goes in and hit all the. Because Olympics was, the power guy.
Exactly.
Guy, So they had to think about all that too. Make sure they do everything they can do, forget points.
Versatile,
You want to know another thing that a lot of people don't take into account? And this can translate to like UFC fighters and all that kind of stuff, like any like performing athlete, is dancing under lights. Bro, those things are hot. Like it drains. Like that first big competition I ever did on a big stage, bro, I remember going out, and when I hit the floor, I was like, bro, I'm already sweating. Yeah. Bro, and I looking up, I was like, oh, these lights are like, and there's a spotlight on me. So, dude, by the time I finished my first round, I was out of breath. I was like, oh, this is why everybody always tells me, breathe when you're under the lights. Bro, because I was holding I was like trying to go all out.
It's so funny. That's why everybody is telling me.
Bro, maybe I should probably suck some oxygen through my nose a little bit. You know what I mean? But those lights, dude, they play a big factor.
Yeah. Speaking of like big sweating, man. So like if you're sweating and you're busting like some of those moves, man, does that affect like your moves, man? Like,
heck yeah.
Because you can slip or like, fuck it up,
especially if you do like one head spin and your head is all sweaty, man.
But it's funny.
You get the beanie though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, question. Okay, explain.
So like bro, B-boys the floor is a first, like this is me walking around Costco, I looking at the floor, I was like, bro, I could backspin on top of this. Like, bro, like whenever I go to like, or even like basketball gymnasiums, or like, bro, it takes so much for me to not do like one head spin or backspin. Bro, it just looks so, bro, I could spin so much. But we pay attention to the floor first, shoes second. And then like, if I'm blessed, I don't really sweat too much, but I have like a fracture in my skull right over here because I was at a competition and I don't know if you guys know what a flare is in a windmill. You guys know what a windmill is, right? Yeah. So somebody was sweating so much on the floor and I didn't know. And I went out, I went to do a flare and into a windmill and I planched my hand down and I tuck under. Bro, this hand would slip out as I'm rotating.
Ooh, so
right over here and smash it, and I knocked out. Bro, straight flat, like, bro, knocked out. And I remember waking up and everyone's around me with ambulance. And I was like, what the heck? Yeah. Bro, and I got up, my eye was swollen shut. And then they're like, okay, like, you probably have a concussion. And I was like, oh, I'm not leaving the event. I ended up winning the whole thing that day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, but to answer your question, bro, yeah, sweat plays a factor for sure.
Sweat, yeah.
Okay, because I could roll into minds right here.
Yep,
okay,
right into you.
So I'm gonna break this down for you, my brother, because I like know. You see when crew rolling up, right? You guys both for battle them, okay? Like, how you know which guy is doing what? Like, hey, so like, the guy with the thick beanie is guaranteed a head spin guy.
Yep, bro, that's a good question.
This guy only get one knee pad.
we doing group competition.
But you know what I mean? Yeah, like anybody.
By just like seeing them in the face value, like, oh, I know that guy's a power head. Yeah. Oh, that's the style kid.
Okay, you only get one knee pad, so okay, that's something. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing crazy stuff, but you're doing something with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a day and age now where everybody knows everybody because we're so accessible through the internet now.
Yeah.
So like, I pretty much, and for me, like, I'm such a nerd when it comes to this culture. Mm-hmm. So I know everybody, even if you're not that fit, I know you. And secondly, you're right, bro. Like, if someone's wearing a beanie with like the lawn chair fabric on top, like, I know that kid's doing head spins at practice all day, bro. All day, so, bro, it's so funny because there's a few times in battle I was like, because I can do power moves. I'm decent at it, but it's not really like my forte. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going out after him because I know he's gonna get me in the power. It's like he got the beanie on, he got the wrist braces. This kid is doing powers all day. All day. And he's brawling Murph. You know what I mean? So like, oh, bro, this kid gonna be.
See, I was thinking too. Yeah, that's a good one. Because I would size up my opponent. Like, oh fuck this. Oh, I don't know if I'll be. Like, bro, let's go stick to the background. Yeah, pop in, lock in the back.
There you go, bro. Yeah, that's a good question.
That is. Yes. Even like going back to the Olympics, like who you think like got the best b-boys out of all the countries that you saw? Because you probably been watching, huh?
Oh heck yeah! I was actually with some of the competitors right before it happened. They were on a long. Nice. Yeah.
Because for me, I'll say like my favorite ones was Japan for sure, and like even India, bro. They came with fire.
I was gonna say India, bro. I like India.
Bro, their energy was like
India's getting more traction now because there's more b-boys in India than in America.
Yeah, I only figured that out because on like the World of Dance, I think it's called like WOD. Yeah. They had like these guys called the Desi Hoppers, the Desi Hoppers, and they're like from India. They was doing some cool shit.
India get action. India, the girls on the Olympics, that girl from India, she
I
had
know you
action.
Talk about You got to think too, bro. They come from a culture where dance is so rooted into them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you ever seen like belly dance or like, you know, the cultural
Bollywood style.
Yeah,
bro, the people in India, bro, they for real, they can dance, bro. They have a really, they can dance. I honestly, my favorite. You talking about in a general sense or like in the Olympics?
No, this is yours.
Or like the battles at the end. What country you think had the most best dancers, like with the men and women, like? Because I know
Europe, 100%. Okay. Like I would say, Europe for sure.
That was that one. She had like kind of a weirder style, I think.
Oh, she's from Australia.
Oh, she's
from Australia.
Oh no, not that one. No, actually, that's a different story.
We know that one.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that one.
The girl from Japan was action. Yeah, she was.
I spent some time with Ami in Japan.
She get action. She's not really power move, but she got style. Like
she has a good teacher, but her teacher is I believe it's Katsu, B-boy Katsu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love Katsu.
Yeah, bro, me too, because bro, so B-boy Katsu, he's yo, bro.
Oh, so you would say Europe then, huh? So
Europe, 100%, bro. I spent a month, like 5 weeks in Europe.
For real?
Yeah, traveling to compete.
Yeah.
So I I just spent a whole month. So me and my brother Hijack, he's actually, bro, he's probably one of the more probably one of the most famous b-boys now in the entire world. Yeah, and he's from Oahu boy. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's an 808 breaker as well. Hawaii ties is mean in the breaking, man. He was a Red Bull ambassador for a while, so he was like a Red Bull athlete. Yeah. But me and him spent a month, 5 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's 5 weeks in Europe. We just traveled. Me and him just backpacked, crashed at like some other b-boys cribs for bro, just hitting every competition we can, bro.
B-boys supporting b-boys, man.
That's the one thing I love about the culture, man. Like I could literally fly anywhere in the world and just hit up with some of the b-boys and be like, oh yeah, we got you.
Yeah. See, that's cool. Same, and I'm sure same with you if they come here.
Oh heck yeah, of course. My homies that I was with in Italy, I stayed with them in Vatican City, and then they came to Maui 2 times, bro. Kicked back with me.
That's what's up. Yeah, it reminds me of like punk rock bands, like, you know, like when they do like their world tour, like their first world tour is always like they're sleeping at this random brother's house. Like, it's a friend of a friend. You know what I mean? Like that kind of camaraderie, like you build. So I guess, bro, that's kind of dope. Like, you know, travel the world by meeting random people, but you guys all kind of like love the same. Like you all rooted by one thing, you know. And that's performing. So, bro, that's great. That's great. I think that's so cool.
The thing about hip hop culture, like first and foremost, is a culture, and by definition, culture is a way of life. So like you were saying earlier, like a lot of people say they're b-boys. Like to me, respectfully, that's a title you have to earn. Yeah, you know what I mean. I never even called myself a b-boy until like I felt like I deserved it. You know what I mean? And so like there's people out there in this world, like, and I like to think I'm one of them who I hope I am at least, who really practices this culture every day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And really it seems like you're just talking to you that
appreciate that. So these are the kind of people that, like, if I travel somewhere, man, like they understand it, and it's not a niche subculture anymore. It's pretty big. So we're like, oh, okay, like I can fly out and I can reach out to a few people. Like, hey, do you know anybody out there that I could stay with? Which I did many times, like staying like in the mainland to Europe to Japan or wherever it may be. You know, so that's the cool thing about this culture is like there are people who really live this and they will support each other. Like, bruh, there's like a support system, which is like unheard of. Yeah,
sure.
I love that. Yeah,
I would say like that kind of ties into my next question about like motivation. Like, how do you kind of stay, you know, motivated to kind of keep doing breakdancing? You know, because I feel like a lot of people, especially when they're in school, they're like, oh, maybe I like be on breakdancer and all. But then after you graduate from high school, all of that, like reality sets in.
Yeah, this is such a good question too.
Because from what I know about being on dancer, like in general, like just watching it on TV and all that, but I heard it's like a hard profession, but for really, one, find something and something steady. Right? Yeah. Like for finding something steady, that's like you gotta be motivated. You gotta find one way.
So how do you kind of stay motivated and kind of inspired to keep going like all these years
so,
that you've been?
I love that you touched on this too, like where some people say they want to be like a dancer then right after high school. Yeah. That was a big factor for me and a lot of my friends. Like, you know, I'm like the only one who like really stuck it out, which is fine. You know what I mean? But the way it's a changing thing. So your motivation changes, I've learned as I get older and as I start finding more success within the career. My motivation in the beginning, not gonna lie to you, is chicks. That's usually how it starts.
Hey, that's
usually how it starts.
That's one of the best motivations.
This is real talk, Maui. We talk real kind.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure chicks been motivating guys since the beginning of time.
Exactly.
So nothing new.
Exactly.
It started off there. And second, after that was just chasing the art. I just needed to, like, I was so obsessed with just art in general. I wanted to just dig as deep as I could go. So that's really what motivated me, is like figuring out different, because I do all dance styles. I'm not just a b-boy. So I touched on everything. I touched in theater as well. So like that was my motivation. Now my motivation is completely different because I took like a 2-year hiatus where I didn't practice. I only taught. That's the only time I actually danced.
Okay.
And the motivation to come back was really let me see where I can take it. Let's see how far this thing can go.
Yeah.
Let's see how far I can push myself. And I want to see like what I'm really made of. You know what I mean? Like when I get out, like after doing like a 12-hour shift, you know what I mean, at work, and I come home and like I lay down, I'm like, bruh, now I gotta practice for 2 hours. And I think to myself, like, bruh, when you're in that battle next month and you're standing in front of that person, you know you didn't put in that work, are you gonna regret it? You know what I mean? So that, like, I put myself in those situations because I've been there before, man. I've been there, like I was talking about earlier, spending so much money and time to travel to some place to dance for 1 minute. Yeah. And after that, like, and I'm in the other side of the world, you know? So I put myself, bro, that's a long plane ride home, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Afterwards.
But that's how you know, you invest in yourself, you believe in yourself, and you can be like, yeah, you know what? Like how you say, now you leave it all on the ground, like all on the floor.
Yeah.
All on the floor.
That's where the motivation comes from now, man. Is just like, just pushing the agenda as far as like, I have one life, man, and I'm blessed to have all my limbs, and I'm blessed to be healthy and young still. So I was like, bro, you know what? Let's see how far I can do this.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Yeah.
That's sick that you're still doing it, man. So like, shout out to you for holding it down and giving that dream up, man.
Yes, sir.
Because shoot, we wanted to play in the NFL, and then after high school, we were like, you know, it's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, man. Honestly, we have to give that up. So.
Sometimes, because like my version of my dream, it looks so different back then too, and it's okay for it to change. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true too. Yeah.
Like sometimes I always had like a very high expectation of myself, only because I felt like everybody knew me as the breakdancer. You know, the cool, like, oh, Alex, oh, you're the breakdancer. I was like, yeah. So I felt like I was put into like a box, and people like expected so much of me. So I felt that pressure. So now when I think of it, it's like, I'm just trying to prove it to myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm no longer trying to prove externally. I'm trying to prove internally. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
I can do that move. I can't do 5 backflips in a row.
Like that kind of stuff. Right? Yeah. Yep.
But even like how you were saying, like, you know, I got to practice for 2 hours. Like, because I know from playing football about it, I had guys used to practice in front of the gym, Memorial Gym. Yep. Right over there. But where was like the spots like on Maui, like if you knew the B-boy culture,
like the battles, where that? Because we don't even know where
Memorial Wars, like exactly what you just said. That was me since I was 7 years old. Yeah. On that concrete, bro. That's why my hands are so messed up. It's for real, but I promise.
Wait, right in the front of the gym,
in the front,
the memorial.
Everybody, yep.
No, memorial. Like you know, like right by the entrance to the gym.
Yep.
Like,
you have like the memorial. Yep. Yeah, right there.
That's my stomping grounds right there. Huh? Bro, I spent...
Because I used to see fuckers in there every night, bro.
Guaranteed, that was me.
For real?
110%. Oh. I was there by myself sometimes too, bro.
Yeah. That ground is slippery and perfect, though.
That place is a legendary... That's an historical spot for my b-boying, bro.
Really?
Yeah, we call it Wars.
Nice.
So, like, I could text one of my boys. I just text them, Wars. You already know what I'm talking about. Oh, we're going practice.
Yeah. I saw that they're doing some construction on them right now.
Yeah, they're doing,
so
we're not allowed to practice there anymore, I don't think, bro. Because we had a permit to practice there.
Because there's no other place to practice there, bro.
Exactly, that's true. Yes. Like, unless you rent a studio. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, like, now I just buy underlayment and linoleum from Home Depot, just throw them in the backyard and just practice like that.
Yeah, and it goes back to what he said earlier, like how he just walk around like, oh, I can do a flare over here. I can do a shoulder over here.
Costco, please, just one time, like, just rip one fat backspin inside there, bro.
It's good concrete.
Seriously, bro. I like a few people have called me out on this. Like, they catch me looking at the floor. Like, brother, you sad? I was like, nah, dog, but this floor is just calling me.
Perfect floor,
bro. I just like thinking of all the moves I can do on this floor. Like, oh, bro, this floor is so shiny. I never just gonna wax them. Bro, 20 backspins easy right now.
Yeah, right. And then and how you're saying how you studied, because chicks, right? Okay. Yeah. What is your like, you see some pretty ladies right there in the crowd, like, what is your move, brother? It's like,
I get this down to a science.
With dedication.
Like guarantee panties hammer. Guarantee, huh?
Shoot, bro, honestly, dude,
rip the shirt at the end.
You know what's
one full production here.
Yeah, bro. And honestly, like, if I really am trying to impress a female, like, let's say we're at a bar, I'm not gonna break. I am not going on the floor.
What about a competition then? You had a competition, she's just there watching.
Competition is always the quick looks, you know what I mean? Like, just make just like in the middle of my set, and when I finish my round, boom, I look back, wink at them.
I guess
let them love watching. You know what I mean?
I guess your main goal would be winning it. That would be how to win it.
Yeah,
you win it, you win her.
But bro, for me, I better you see that helicopter flare I just did, bro?
The guy grab your balls. Helicopters.
Hold eye contact for a little bit too long.
Because get like back flare, like back flip into a fucking handstand. Like,
that was nuts, bro.
I don't know. Is that called the helicopter, where you're like on your like elbows like locked, and then you're kind of just twisting your feet, and then you kind of just go in like that?
That's called
not on your head though.
I think you're talking about crickets.
And you just keep going like that. I think.
Yeah. So are you like this spinning like this or just like this?
You stay like on handstand and then like your legs is just kicking around and you're just kind of like
you're just rotating like that.
No, you're not thinking of a flare, right?
No.
Okay, flare, so you're thinking about it's called UFOs. Oh, it's called UFOs.
Okay.
UFOs. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I know the flare and then the shoulder roll. Because the flare, you're kind of more down like this. Yeah.
Yep.
What is the one you told Jaire? You didn't ask him if he and Bus was the stomp the yard one? Huh? The one at the end, the one he go.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you just sit on top of your guys live too. Yeah. I was at work. I was on my lunch break, bro. I was watching.
It's not going to say, when you ever bust that, that
backward
shoulder,
the Chris Brown one, the roll back, boom. Like, boom. Bro, that move is simple, bro.
But come on, I'll stop the yard. Like for a guy that don't know, bro. Like that was a big trick.
You know what? I think it was the slow motion, maybe.
Yes,
on that.
I'm telling you, it's a production.
Because if we saw it in real life, it would have been like,
it would have been like a regular. Yeah, that's true.
So that's a roll back elbow freeze. So either you're just rolling back and pushing up to your elbow. Bro, I'm pretty sure most people, like if they practice for like a couple of days, they could do that.
Yeah, maybe like a 3-second move, maybe. Yeah.
If you can sit on your butt and roll back and then stand back up, you can do that move.
Yeah. They made it seem was like a 30-minute.
I know.
It was super slow mo.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie,
all of a sudden just
I'm not gonna lie though, but the way Chris Brown did it though, he did on his elbow tip.
Yeah.
And Chris Brown can actually dance as well. And he gets that. He was in the. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Battle of the Year. Chris Brown was in it. The guy I battled Dunock, he's one of the main characters in it. Yeah.
Why didn't we watch that? That's like a movie I feel like we would have watched.
It's called Battle of the Year. Yeah, there's a bunch of people that's in that movie. Like that's the cool thing about the breaking community too. Is a lot of people I know. Like I know a lot of people, and you got served. I danced and practiced.
No, bro, and I had the opportunity. I forget. I think I had them on DVD. But you know how to get the director and like actors commentary on the movie. So I had the director, and he was telling on You Got Served, and he was saying like, how they got this guy for do this move or this guy for come in, that guy. And I was talking about all these legends, bro, on top there. And I was like, then that's when it kind of like opened up to me, like, it's really kind of like a solo, but like go down with this crew. You know what I mean? Like, you're a solo act. Everybody, you're in my crew because you can do this like super. Right. So when we need you, dog.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's how it felt like. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of that reminded me of at the end. Remember they bought those I think it was 1 or 2 guys, the Howley guys that came in at the end for the final battle. Yeah, Oscar
and yup.
They bought it just.
This
they
is
only
Stomp the Yard or
no? This is You Got Served.
Little Saint, Little Saint, bro.
Those two guys came in was like, this about the energy.
He did jumping jacks on like handstanding kind. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's crazy.
Oh yeah, the one hand hops. Yeah. That was the second move I learned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. After the 1990,
you gotta be freaking strong, man.
I feel like you gotta be light too. Like it's almost like with my wife. She didn't cheerlead, so she know all this kind of cheerleading stuff. But like and they had flyers for cheerleading. Like this usually like the lighter
ones. Yeah.
So like is it like you say like I know Jaire is kind of one big brother, but like is there only certain moves that certain guys can actually like literally do?
No, bro. Every body type can do every kind of move.
Nice. So that's what I wanted him to say.
Yeah, there's
everybody can do them.
Everybody can. I've taught somebody as old as 52 years old, and she ended up getting windmills down.
Yeah.
There's a guy by the name of B-Boy Dummy. He's a big brother. And this guy is cranking air flares and like beautiful for like you wouldn't believe. Size does not matter. Size does not matter. It's every body is different. Like everybody and every body is different, right? So it's like you're like for instance like the hand hops. It's actually not about your weight or it's not about strength. It's all about technique. Certain moves, it's about strength. Certain majority of the moves though, with the proper technique, right, you can execute it.
As momentum kind of play a factor too.
It's momentum and using. So a lot of people think you're using your arm, you're using your hips and your legs majority for that
because you're kicking yourself back up.
You just use the legs do all the work. The arm is just stuff a catch.
That makes sense.
See now I know I can do it.
It's like a magician revealing the secret sometimes. You know what I mean? Like
but you gotta have good coordination, man. To freaking do that.
The coordination part is for that move for sure. Yeah.
What is a good like move to start to get into your best move? Like what is those called? Like the in between moves,
the transitional moves. Yeah. So that's a good question. That's what I really focus on inside of my.
Because that's where the boring concepts. Part is. I feel like in a battle, that's where it would. If there was a boring. Right. Yeah, you know what I mean? To get to the next. Yep. Yeah. So
a lot of people don't pay attention to detail in that nature, which is why, like you were saying earlier, the story doesn't end well, right? Like, you know, they don't finish their round. I approach the dance in a way where I like to be completely whole, like well-rounded. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So meaning like I like to have the full package. So the transitional parts is the parts that people really don't pay attention to as much, like whether it be the person dancing or the crowd. Yeah. So I was thinking like, oh, that's a good way to separate myself. Paying attention to those transitions and making people pay attention to it. So like, oh, like that move was so sick that he ended it, but the way he got into it was crazy.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
Filling in those blanks is what's gonna keep the audience engaged the whole time.
And I feel like what was the girl from Japan again? That's what she was really good at. Like, she would tie her little moves like that in with like her bigger moves, and so like everything would be like
all those small details count and matter. And
she if you put on a show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's not like she was busting like the most not just power moves or all of this, but she was just like everything was just clean, man. Like,
it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I'm gonna say that one more time for the people in the back. It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
No, even when I was watching his reels on his Instagram, like, you know, you could tell like his brother's just like, he's okay. But you look like you was actually like, I was watching you got served. Like, you know what I mean?
I check like, man, is that actually him?
No
like,
way.
Oh, this fucking he's actually dancing, right?
They better not be like his friend you in town.
Or AI or something.
Something. But man, shout out, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. It really means a lot too, coming from because I had like growing up, I had I was really disassociated with like don't get me wrong, I born and raised Waihu side. Like my dad's straight pigeon. You know, that's all he speaks like. But me, like, you know, I get what you call it, people like to call it mass, right? Or whatever it may be. I don't like to use the term mass because it sounds a little fake, but I can code switch, right? So I had a very big disassociation growing up, and like especially like in high school, where like I didn't really identify with local people, even though I am a local. But like I was so insecure with myself, where I was like, bruh, like I'm not local enough. Like Earl Sweatshirt says this in one of his songs. Is like, I'm too black for the white kids, too white for the blacks. I feel like I never had a place that fit in. So that that disassociation really like made like you guys just invited me to the podcast. It's kind of healing that inner kid for me. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. Now I'm way past that, and like, bro, I cruise it out, like, you know, my boys and stuff like that. And now I'm not afraid for speak pitching. I was legitimately afraid for speak pitching right now. You know what I mean? Even though being from Waihu, and especially being
that's like crazy.
Bro. Like that. I was so like, granted, I was very in my head. But like I was in such a weird place. Like, bro, I don't even look like my dad is full Filipino. You know what I mean? And like even like my own family, bro. Like I go family parties, you know how the Filipinos always talk, you know. And then like, I hear the word pura, like, oh, I know that means white. I know what you're talking about. So like, I don't know where I could fit in, so that's why breaking was like a that was the only place. That was the only place.
That's cool. Yeah,
that was the only place.
Like, that's like us too, though. I mean, not as like how that is, but like even for me, I can speak. Oh, sorry. I can speak for me. Like even when it comes to like both our Hawaiian and our Samoan side, like that culture is like I mean. Honestly, I feel like I just fit in more with like when regular local brethren. Versus somebody who grew up Hawaiian culture or grew up in a Hawaiian culture, grew up in a Samoan culture.
Right.
Like I don't know, like because I don't know how to speak. I don't know. I mean, maybe most of it was laziness. Like I could have learned. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like I never really fit in. But that was like back then. Nowadays, bro, aloha everybody. Everybody just as long as you give out aloha, bro, everybody can aloha you back. That's it.
You know what really changed it for me was dancing at Old Lahaina Luau. That's what really changed it for me.
I used to work at Feast Later.
For real?
Not dancing. I used to drum.
No way. You used to drum it over there. See, I used to
finish.
That, bro, like the reason why I did that is because I remember it was on my birthday, and my friend was like, bro, Alex, we're looking for dancers. I know you always wanted to, like, but just bite the bullet and just do it. I was terrified. I was terrified to roll up to a luau and probably like have all that, like I was expecting to be ridiculed. You know what I mean? But bro, they embraced me with open arms, and like, dude, that place, dude, that's the reason why, like, bro, it makes me easier or make me feel more comfortable to accept who I am as a local boy, and like finding that identity within myself.
At least you found that over there.
Like shout out to my friends like Lay, Kohoku, like all my friends, Kainoa guys, Boo Boo, Eha, all those dancers over there, bro. Don't get me wrong, bro. You go to Ohana, well, bro. You learn fast over there, bro. Like they run on tight shit.
Yeah, it's either you learn or you just not gonna dance.
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, and like that. I love the fact that they made me earn it. They really made me earn it. And then, bro, like, shout out to Capizzo, to Kapili, bro. Those people, like, really, Capizzo, bro.
Speaking of him, we trying to get him on here, man. So if you watch it,
Kapili, get on here. What you doing, bro?
It's in the process.
We
trying to.
Bro, I mean, Kapili,
busy guy, though. Busy guy, that guy.
Kapili is one of the people. Kapili is the one who trained me.
Yeah.
Kapili is the one who taught me how to dance hula.
That's the performer right there. That's the performer right there.
Yeah. Bro, yeah. You talk about one performer. Kapili is like the dictionary.
Fuck is
right
there. Yeah. He's the man, bro. When it comes to that, bro. He's a performer.
Yeah, bro. I was blessed enough to watch. I took a lot from that person. Like I learned a lot from him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I'm a good performer, but bro, the way this raw organic energy
and the confidence, bro. Like he's just like, bro, I'm here. Like I'm here, everybody. What's up? You know what I mean? Like, bro, I love that. Bro.
I love dancing with Kapili, bro.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like dancing with the culture and stuff like that, you kind of incorporate it sometimes in your breaking, like maybe the culture dance or
100%.
How you do that?
Give on away, Ami and slide.
Ami and slide, bro. I honestly, bro. It's through storytelling. It's through storytelling. So like, the kopunas, they always tell you stories that's passed down, you know what I mean? Those are So those stories is like some of the storytelling that I do in breaking. There's this one thing where like it would probably be better to like just put it in the clip or whatever, but there's one like where I tell a story of spearfishing, grabbing a fish and then eating it, digesting it, and getting a small nut, and then
it's on your Instagram or what?
Shoot, it's in one. I do it. I
can look for that.
It's one of the common like
play that clip
things.
Right?
Yeah. We'll check them out.
I'll send it to you guys. But it's super quick. But like like those things, like I love mixing and showing. That's what you're supposed to do as an artist, right? You're supposed to put your identity into your art.
Exactly, my friend. Exactly.
Yeah. Now that we're talking about that, let's kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier with how you link up with Jabbawockeez and your whole process with. Because I remember you were saying that you were trying to get on their crew or what, or you try it out. Or
I actually I went to Vegas. I think this was like 2 months ago only. I was hanging out with this guy named Ronnie. I tried to get into the auditions, but I think the auditions had just passed before I got up there. I don't know how many times they audition a year, but those people are good friends of mine. Ronnie is actually the guy who is in Super Crew. You know Super Crew from America's Best Dance Crew? I practiced at his studio for like a week straight, and his wife is from Maui, bro. I see you call Maui all the time. And he's like, bro, he's like best friends with Joe Coy. That's why Joe Coy's. Joe Coy came to the first Friday, the battle.
Nice.
He showed up, because Joe Coy's a b-boy. I don't know if you guys know that.
I wouldn't doubt that. He looked like he would be into that.
He's a legitimate b-boy. Like he was
performer.
He was he's in the crew called Style Elements, and that's the competition that me and my crew 808 Breakers won that put us on the map. That was the one that we won where like people started talking to us how we got the Monster Energy contract offer, or you know what I mean? It's all that was the beginning of it. So Joe Coy and my friend Ronnie are really good friends. I don't know if it's not to blow your spot up, but so my boy Ronnie, I hit him up. I texted him. I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be in Vegas. Like, yo, is it like since I'm there, I might as well just audition for this." Like, "Oh, auditions already passed, but like, yo, just come through to the studio and practice." So I just practiced with them. You remember he's pretty much the guy who was always being interviewed on America's Best Dance Crew for Super Crew.
For Super Crew.
Yeah, for Super Crew.
Okay.
Yeah, and he also did the Jabbawockeez show. Like, there's a big cast for the Jabbawockeez show.
What they show Superwockeez? No.
Superwockeez. Yeah. So that's they're just that's so funny because they were just talking. We sat in the studio for like 2 hours talking stories about that whole ABDC time, and like they're telling me the experience, like how it was and how crazy it was.
Yeah.
There was a point after ABDC that Jabbawockeez and Super Crew, but they were like getting chased down by fans. Like they were they were like MTV's biggest like show at
it was big, bro. I remember that time. Yeah.
So they get the trophy right in the studio, and I was like, bruh, this is so crazy. Dude. I remember being in my living room, like on the carpet floor
every week,
eating Portuguese sausage,
waiting
watching
for that.
the finale, and I remember them holding up that trophy. I remember this day to the down to the detail, and like now I'm standing in front of that same exact trophy I seen. I'm like wow, full circle moment. Full circle moment.
But I promise you, when I watched that final episode 2 in Jabbawockeez won and they beat Status Quo.
Status Quo.
Status
Quo.
But they beat Status Quo. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Jabbawockeez skyrocketed.
They did. And now look, they got a show in Vegas.
Yeah, they were.
Is it still Muse IC? No, what is it called? Is it Muse IC?
No,
but they had a show called that, huh?
Yeah. So they I think they do contracts, right, with their hotels. They were at the Lux before, then I think they were at the MGM, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they have like different shows, and then they rebrand the name and stuff like that. Yeah.
Next time I go to Vegas, I'm going to watch them.
Dude, their show is sick. The production is off the charts.
Guarantee.
I gotta go watch them.
I would love that. I was trying to get into those shows at one point in Vegas, but that was during my hiatus point. I was like, you know what? I was just working at Home Depot doing flooring and stuff like that. So I was like, bro, because bro, teaching 7 days a week. I taught almost every single day on the island. Teaching 7 days a week, bro, it's hard. And like we were talking about not getting paid much, but the term starving artist is a very real thing. It's a very real thing, man. Like sleeping on floors, sleeping in my truck, not having a home. Like I was in Oahu and living bouncing on couch to couch doing street shows on Waikiki at one point. I got accepted into college, Granite Community College. Didn't go up the first day, and I was like I knew what I wanted to be so 7, bro. Like you know what I mean? What am I doing?
Right?
Yeah. To switch it up though, going back to like the movies that we've been talking about, let's just go ahead and pick what's your favorite one out of these 3 movies. Okay, the ones that we've been talking about. Okay, You Got Served, of course, the one we've been Stomp the Yard or Step Up. Because I know Step Up got some good ones too. Well, they have like 8 movies. I think Step Up 3D was like super good, man.
Is that where the robot guy was out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go back to that. Remember that, because I want to know what style that is.
That's called Robot.
Okay, I'll say this. Stomp the Yard has the best storyline out of all 3 of them. For real. Like that's like a good movie.
You didn't think You Got Served got a good story with the drug?
It does.
Dealing the drugs?
It does.
As a kid?
It does, but I think the storytelling in Stomp the Yard was way better.
That's true.
Yeah. But as far as like favorite movie,
you're right, because you can take.
It was more the battles. The battles was what made You Got Served. Right?
The dancing aspect, You Got Served was fire.
It was fire. And something no one saw before. And now that I
think about it, You Got Served, the drug dealing part kind of came in super random.
It came out of nowhere.
Super random.
At the end,
They just needed to make some bread. They went back to that homie real quick.
They're trying to the starving artist. That's what they were trying to show. But you're right. That came in kind of fucking.
Or I think they were trying to show too, like how you're saying, like how it came up from like kind of that gangster gang.
It's like they're trying. I think they're trying to depict like these guys are actually from the street. Like that's the whole premise of You Got Served, right? Is like from the streets to big stage. You know what I mean? So I think they're trying to relay that story. Yeah,
getting away from that street life and kind of going into dancing and making it like what they did at the end.
To answer that question, I think I'm gonna have to go Step Up.
Step Up.
Only because like it's so sentimental for me. Like that. Like I watched You Got Served. That's the first dance movie I've ever seen. But Step Up was the one I was like, I've seen people that I've danced with in. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this is tangible. I can like, oh, it's there. I can grab it if I want to. You know what I mean? So that's why I would say
that is true, because that one, what is the main character? The one kind of like a Mexican looking dude with the curly hair. He got action.
For sure. He's dancing again. Adam Stevani, I think his name.
Did he start off a b-boy or what? Nah,
he's what you call a popper. So I think he's studio trained. So he dances in studios, and then I think he learned popping.
He's a 1-3 count. 1-3 count.
Yeah. Which is nothing wrong with studio dancing. You know what I mean? But it's just 2 different worlds. Man. You know.
Yeah. Going back to that robot guy. So that style.
Matt Chad.
Yeah. So what?
The bullet guy with the animation guy.
He lives that. He's not dancing. He lives.
You don't see too much people like that. Like so, like does every crew have that one guy like that busts that style or what?
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, bro? Like. That's a very true stereotype. Because even my crew, bro, but his name is Funky T. He's actually Samoan too. Samoan firefighter, from Sanford. I don't know if you guys noticed, bro, but there's a big Samoan community in popping, bro. From the Bay. The Samoan gangsters in San Francisco. Booyah tribe. You on game. You know.
Straight up.
Yeah, you know, bro.
They started that, but Electric Boogaloos, cuz.
Those guys are real OGs,
bro. That was like Beach Street action. You know
those guys are what you call real OGs, like triple OG status. Those guys.
Straight gang, or like they started dancing, then gang.
Yeah, bro. Those guys, So every crew does. Majority of crews do have
that one guy.
So that's a distinction that I also want to make too. Is like a lot of people use the term pop locking, right? Mm-hmm. Popping and locking are two different dance styles.
Yeah. Okay.
So just like even the term breakdancing, it's actually called breaking. And like so like I know it's not common knowledge. So like I never get really offended. But it's important that I say that on the podcast. So like just to try to spread that information as much as possible.
Nobody else is teaching us this kind of, or anybody.
Popping is like the wave action, and then locking is the one.
Bro, you know.
What was the style that you was into? Popping, huh?
Popping straight, bro. And the first one, but Josh Modelo taught me to like for crank.
Oh
crank,
yeah.
Boom, bro, calm down.
I'm telling you,
calm down.
He was headed down your route.
Bro,
but
he was headed down your road.
So I hurt my knee right for football. I try to do like, because when you popping, like, you're doing like
use
that.
Your legs or Fresnos.
You kind of like popping your knee like straight, kind of, you know. Bro, like I almost blowed it.
Pop your knee out.
Bro, I was already injured. I said acting all time. Nah, negative. I'm not gonna do that.
The hyperextension, because those are called Fresnos. Fresnos, exactly. And you gotta pop the knee backwards.
Man, that's with that old school, like like Zapp and Roger kind of. That's the ones that they fucking vibe with that. Bro.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to make that distinction really fast,
you're good.
Because breakdancing versus breaking. Breakdancing was like a term that like when it was popular, like in the early 80s, late 70s, or probably like mid 80s, it was popularized on like a news, big news and media and stuff like that as breakdancing. And it's important that I share this with the Maui people because it's a very important culture for me. This is like an actual culture I live every day. So it's kind of like calling or terming something wrong in Hawaiian. You know what I mean? Like that would be a very not beneficial to the culture, right? So breaking is the reason why I call it b-boying is a b-boy and b-girl. Break girl, break boy. The reason why we're called b-boys and b-girls or break girls and break boys is because we dance to the break of a song. So the break of a song is the percussion part of a track where there's usually no lyrics, and it's where it's the breakdown of the song. And that's when the b-boys would drop down and hit the floor. So that's why it's important for us. So a DJ or a disc jockey, right? That's why hip hop created the whole term DJing and having two turn. The reason why there's two platters, right, or two discs is because DJs would want to extend the break on the song because the break in a song is only a short-lived moment.
It's like literally like half a second.
That's
exactly.
True. Yeah.
So the DJs would loop that by having two of the same record. So the DJs were
draw a crossfade.
Exactly. So that's why it's important to make that distinction that it's not breakdancing. It's like I
love that you did that.
It's so which is it's really hard to change it because everybody knows it as breakdancing now. But if I would be doing a disservice to my own culture if I wasn't speaking on the importance of terminology.
You gotta put breakers.
B-boys or B-girls or breakers.
Breakers. See, it's learning something new every time.
Roger,
Breaker boys.
Breaker boy. B-boys and B-girls, baby. That's how we get down.
To kind of go back to the Australian dancer, since we didn't cover on that. What's your thoughts on that?
What is she doing? What was the style? Like it seems like she was just like
it wasn't all bad. Some of it was good, but there was parts
she went on the ground and she was like smelling her shoe and shit.
Wait, before you even start though, because they had to have pre-qualifying stuff, so she gotta have been decent enough to even be on that stage. So.
I can tell you guys a tea. So being in the community, which is crazy because I think the weekend after the Olympics, her whole crew came to our event on Oahu that we throw every year. Her whole crew, from Australia. So we literally had to go on the mic like, hey, we had to let everybody in the event know like, please do not mention the Olympics today. Yeah, like please, it's because you know how everybody was talking.
I get it.
So we literally had, because their crew, like they had plans to come to our event like or a year in advance. So when they came, like bro, like this was all still happening, right? And you could tell, dude, it was hurting them. Bro. So the way she got in there, and this is what I heard. You know what I mean? So don't shoot the messenger.
Hey, what you heard is better than what we heard. So
everybody listen up.
So I'm pretty sure because she's a very she runs a successful school out there in Australia, and
breaking school.
I believe it's her and her husband, if I'm not mistaken. And it seems like a really good school. And like granted, like I think they're really good people, and like, you know, they're talented dancers. So I think that's why she represented Australia, is because, you know, she is a good representation as far as like who they would want. You know what I mean? As a person. Her dancing, I'm gonna give it to you real raw and organic. I wasn't a fan of it. But I was a fan of her storytelling, and two, I was a fan of her putting herself out there and representing her style, even if it's not well received. Even you know what I mean? Like
definitely,
you can do nothing but respect
that.
it.
I respect that.
I'm pretty sure Jaire said that too. That's why even though she didn't dance as good, she put breakdancing or breaking on the map, like for that, even if it's for that short amount of time. So.
And like, bro, you gotta. It's like I like making the comparisons to UFC, like MMA and breaking. Is like, you know how like people always say, I respect anybody who makes that walk to the cage. It's the same thing for me. It's like, bruh, if you're willing to go and represent, even if I don't like it or somebody else might, you know what I mean? But I respect anybody who puts, like, you gotta think, brother, putting their true selves out there. That's a very vulnerable place to put yourself in, especially in front of millions and at the Olympics. For her to be like, you know what, dude, I know a lot of people don't really receive my dancing well, and like people won't understand it, but you know what, I am who I am, and I'm going to represent that here today at the highest level at the Olympics. I do not like the fact that that's all everybody was talking about, because that took away from everybody there was
so much good dancing,
and I'm going to clear this up right now too. Everybody thinks it's the reason why it's not in the next Olympics is because of her. That is completely untrue. We already knew that it wasn't good. This is the way it works, is that they trial run the new sports, and we already knew that it was only going to be for that year. The next Olympics, we already knew from like years ago that it wasn't gonna.
They weren't gonna like that.
So everybody skewed the narrative. You know,
I feel like Red Bull is pretty Olympic status, bro. Like they got some pretty huge crowds, bro, for that.
The Red Bull events, man, are crazy. There's this event called Red Bull BC1, which is like our Super Bowl. Like it's a 1-on-1, and whoever wins it is like pretty much claimed like the best b-boy of the year. Like he's at the top.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, what is the Super Bowl of like breaking? So like now that you said that, where's that held at?
So it's held a different place every year.
Is it the last, like, say if you were from Maui and you won, would they hold it in Maui kind like that?
No.
Has it ever been in Hawaii or no?
There was a Red Bull qualifier in Hawaii, which I did compete in as well. It was on Oahu, and there is the dancer style, which is an all styles battle. So it's not just breaking; it's an all styles battle. So, but yeah, that's, I think it. If I'm not mistaken, last year, I forget what was held last year, but it's held in a different country every year.
Dubai or something.
Yep, things like that.
Something like that.
Things like that. Yeah. That's what I would say. That's the Super Bowl. It's either that, or I would say freestyle sessions, which Joe Coy actually emceed like years ago on the Queen Mary. So I would say those two. I would rather say freestyle sessions actually, because the Red Bull BC1 is just a 1-on-1. Super Bowl, when I think Super Bowl, I think of a team, and freestyle sessions is a crew versus crew.
I like crew versus crew.
Bro,
I would want to see that too.
Yeah. It's gonna come to First Friday, bro.
Now that you said that,
it's good fun.
Because we wouldn't have even known it unless you said that. So
every August, guys, every August first Friday, come in front of Request Music. I'll usually be on the microphone. It's a good event, and like a bunch of my students, other people from other islands, sometimes mainland fly down. My friends from Italy came down.
Because this past Friday was First Friday, right? So you guys
it's only on August.
August.
It's only once a year.
You said it 10 times, bro.
Failed now.
I want to get it happening more often though.
You see that? I'm bringing awareness to making it happen more often.
Is there clubs in high schools?
I did the dance club. I was a vice president of dance club in high school, but that's one of the ideas I had, is to do because I got this idea from my friend, shout out to Jay Soul, who lives in Las Vegas, who was part of the Jabbawockeez show too. He's from Big Island, actually.
Nice.
So
shout out.
Yeah, or Kauai, actually. Kauai and Big Island. So
ties.
he is going into schools and starting after school programs and actually having like a curriculum, and he's doing multiple schools a day.
Oh, okay.
So I want it because like, bro, like I'm like one of like 10 or 5 people that are still actively practicing on the island. So the only way to combat that is to plant seeds, right? And water them and nurture them, and then you know, because like, bro, like I want to see the culture grow.
Yeah.
And is it easier if like to get people to want to dance? Is it easier like when, you know, there's more opportunities for like when there's more of a guarantee, like I can teach you this and you can do something with it? Or is it like from day one, because if you can come into this class, you gotta know that it's a you thing, that you gotta be able to push yourself through the hard times. Like,
that's a very good question, because I've been teaching for a long time and I've learned how people really work when it comes to how they approach coming to a breaking class. 9 times out of 10, if it's kids, they're just put in there because the parents heard the word breakdancing. It's like, oh yeah, let's go send my kid to breakdancing. There's like, out of hundreds of students, there's only a select few who actually like, oh, like they really want to be there. Yeah. When it comes to adults, I always, first thing I say when I teach adults in an adult class, first thing I say is like, whatever you guys think about breaking, leave it at the door. You guys, because it's not all head spins. It's not all like gymnastics movements. It's not all. It's way simpler than you think, and you don't have to be doing those moves to break. So I know a lot of people come in and they don't expect to have like competitions afterward or like pursue it at that level, but the kids that do, I have to take them outside of Maui. So like I brought a few students to Oahu, you know, we brought students to California, you know what I mean? We're bringing like about like 15 kids, bro, you know what I mean? So, and there are some kids out there who want to do it and just don't know that there's an option for that.
No matter resources, especially out here.
If they go college for them too, like, but there's so much opportunities for everything. Like, but the thing with Hawaii, and especially Maui, no exposure. Like nobody's wanting to come to Maui and be like, hey, I'm looking for dancers. I'm gonna go scout some battles.
Same with sports, like football. All of like our high school sports is tough.
They're like, oh, can that Maui kid come to Oahu? We're just gonna go to Oahu. You know, like there's nothing for
not
Maui,
enough exposure.
Like even speaking like how I was talking to you guys earlier about like starting this podcast, but like we like Hawaii already receives everything late as far as like trends, media, and like you know whatever it may be. Maui's like, brah, you know what I mean? Right after Oahu. See, so we even longer. We even longer. So like the reason why I feel like high schools are really hard to accept or like you know is because like when you hear the term breakdancing, they automatically associate. Everybody has their own association with that word now, right? Like so people still think it's like something like. I was just at work the other day and my boss told me, he's like, I can't believe people still do that, and I'm just like. It always reminds you how people really have such a skewed view on breaking. So
like they think it's something funny. Right?
And it's like it's
breakdancing funny.
It makes sense. I never really get too offended. I never get too offended when the things like that happen. It makes me understand that like okay, I have to be one of those pillars that is making sure that I'm correcting those things. You know what I mean? Not like necessarily aggressively, but making because I care about it. A lot of people don't know like. When I approach schools and try to do programs, I was like, the first thing I do, and I tell the kids and I sit them down if I do like a quick workshop to see like, so if like they see if the program will fit for the kids. Hip hop is an acronym to me, higher inner peace, helping other people. So we have this golden rule in hip hop. We call it.
That was really good. Don't even act like that was that was really good.
Let's slide that one in. One quick one. Sorry. No, you good. I appreciate you noticing that one. So we have this golden rule called each one teach one. And in the hip hop culture, it's very important for us to make sure that we're promoting the right things to our youth, not using drugs, promoting a healthy lifestyle, mental health awareness, and things of that nature. And not only that, too, is like it is our duty to make sure we're teaching each other. You know what I mean? It's like you know we're cultivating it. We're like really trying to really make this community flourish. So that's the golden rule: each one teach one.
Because there's not like you said, there's not a lot of you guys. So like whatever is left of you guys gotta really make it happen. Man. Like make noise. Make sure that the culture stays. Right? We don't want it to die out, man. Like, I mean, shit, me and him, we just got into it because watching movies. Like so, like for you, man, you were like locked in from since you're like 6 years old, man. Like,
so like, honestly, from movies too, bro. Yeah,
inspiration,
dude. You got served, dude. I swear to God, bro.
That was
that started. That started.
I think that was the one where everybody caught the bug, bro. Yeah.
I remember watching the movie with school or at school. No, yeah, with my school, intermediate.
Oh, you guys went to the theater.
Yeah, we went to the theater for watching, bro. And I remember after that, cause guys was like, we went to go eat lunch at Kilpulani Park, and guys was trying for dance battle.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna say who he was, but he know who he is. He and Busta, the dog, that kind of go up and piss.
The guy who did that move is one of my homies that I practiced with in San Francisco.
That was like probably my favorite guy in the movie.
Wait, wasn't that the kind though? Was he with the band?
Yeah, he was the the guy who did the dog walking and he lifted up his head. He was wearing the yellow vest and he had the goggles on top of his head at one point.
Yeah.
That's B-Boy Wicket.
B-Boy.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not B-Boy Wicket. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank right now? He's in
You don't know.
Footwork Fanatics. His oh my God, I was just chilling with him. What the heck is his name? Anyway, I'll figure it out later. But
I like B-Boy Wicket.
But I remember that guy with the yellow with the yellow vest.
Yeah,
I remember he went down the line, right? He did like one hand, like he was doing like one hand move, like going down the line. Yeah. I remember in a commentary, right? Like I was like, yeah, bro. All the guys that was standing still, like getting their hand, whatever. I was like, yeah, man, the guy kept hitting me in my face. I was getting so mad. I was like, fuck. You never think, because they're just standing there. All of a sudden, you just like you see like the little movement, and they're like, oh yeah, look, he just got hit in his face.
Bro, I gotta rewatch that movie, dude. Seriously, I think I would rewatch that book tonight.
I got it.
That's
every
a
time.
Classic.
That is a classic. But no,
it's a classic.
Even talking about like, sorry, just super off like dancing. Freaking, I just didn't watch Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2.
Oh, bro, those are good ones. I gotta rewatch those.
I didn't, because I never watched those movies for so.
It's like classics.
Was so funny, bro. It was so.
You guys see they coming out with a new one. The new
another one?
Bro, yeah. No. The Wayans brothers doing another one. They just announced them. Yeah.
Wow. Because they directed the first two, and then after that wasn't there.
I think they sold the franchise or something like that.
That's why I never do as good.
Bro, but the first two was like
the first two classic, bro.
Like, especially with the second one when they're in the home or in the guy's house and get the guy in the wheelchair and the guy with the hand.
Okay. So you know the guy hand like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually our crew handshake from that movie. So we go like this, and we just go like that. We make the clap, bro. For real, I promise, dude. That's our crew handshake.
It's like, bro.
That movie,
bro. Honestly, bro, I thought you was gonna say it when you first made that gesture. I was like, no, tell me you guys get on B-boy with one hand like that.
Bro, there's some B-boys with
just doing power moves.
B-boy the claw.
Yeah. I thought you was gonna say that. I was gonna be like, no fucking way, bro.
Dog, can you imagine though, bro?
And a couple of my friends know, like every time we go to this one of my friends' houses, like when I get old boss, I just
he bust that.
Bro, they're like, nah, Bryson, don't go inside the house because I always go by the food and I just my germs everything. Bro, they're like, oh my God. Like we just, oh my God.
But going back to sequels though, why you guys think never have one? Was there You Got Served too?
Bro, no.
Wow, you would think, bro.
What becomes of David and Elgin? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
for real.
Or even, because like Stomp the Yard had Step Up had like multiple. So like, man, why?
That's a good question.
That's weird that they never
because, dude, that was such a good movie too,
bro.
It was successful.
I think it's because Step Up started and then they're like, we don't really need another.
That might be right,
right?
Actually,
really because
Step Up kind of took over.
Exactly, bro.
That's a good point. Actually,
it's pretty much just doing the same thing.
Yeah. On your IG, bro, I see on your description, even a couple of your posts, I saw that chasing the ghost.
Oh, wow. You noticed that.
What does that mean, man?
Chasing the ghost.
Yeah. I see that, because I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Like, I wonder what that means. That gotta have a deep meaning.
I know another meaning, but I want to hear your meaning.
Chasing the ghost.
Huh? You know the answer?
No, that's another meaning for
the literal meaning.
Can I hear what your meaning is?
Yeah,
I want to hear what your meaning is. fart fucking.
No, I say fucking all high on crack. They just they blow a cloud in the sky.
I've heard that before.
Chasing ghosts.
I'm sure that's.
But that's why I was like, I never like Sale because I never like fuck up his vibe.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
Cut that out.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right. Just fucking all high. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
So I'm sure it's not that.
Yeah, definitely not that. It's definitely not that. But chasing the ghost is actually, so it's like, you know how like when people talk about performing and they don't remember anything, like it's like a natural high, right? Yeah. Or like for me it's like it's that one moment where you just hit this move you've been trying to hit and you just try it in battle, all of a sudden you just hit it so perfect and you just time, like it's like the Chris Brown moment when he rolling back where time stands still. That's called chasing the ghost.
It's like you're not even in that moment. You're watching. It's like you're watching yourself do that move.
I feel like my life, my dance life is a collection of moments of trying to chase that. Is trying to like that's the moments that I wake up for, and when like bro, like I crave those moments is chasing that ghost. Trying to just man, it's such a surreal moment, and it's like this sounds so corny, but it's so true. It's like whenever those moments happen, it's like the only time I feel completely present and centered, and like just this everything is like non-existent around me. So that's what chasing the ghost is, and I actually. It's like the way that I learned and use the things that I've learned in breaking and I translate it to life is also another meaning that I have for it is chasing the ghost, is chasing that knowledge, the discovery of self. The
unknown.
Yeah, because hip hop has 5 pillars: breaking, DJing, MCing, graffiti, and the 5th one is knowledge, specifically knowledge of self. So you're learning about yourself and becoming a better human being through practicing the culture. So chasing the ghost is another thing. And please nobody bite this, bro, but I really want to make a clothing brand called Chasing the Ghost. Bro.
I knew he was going to have a deep meaning because I read that. I was like, this got to have a deeper meaning than what it actually
Chasing the Ghost. That's all I try to do, man, is just every time I dance, man, I'm chasing that ghost, dude. I got bit by that bug a long time ago, and I've been chasing it ever since.
But before we go, though, you got any other than the first Friday, of course? You got any like competitions other than that? You know, coming up.
So
people can look you up.
That we can check you out.
I'm actually gonna be competing on Oahu February 22nd and 23rd at this event called Endless Summer Jam.
Coming up soon.
I've been training. I was training today for it. Other than that, the Maluku First Friday in August, and I guess I can just announce it here. I'm gonna be doing, because I did throw 2 events before on Maui, $5,000 got like about a whole night.
Nice.
I'm gonna do another one. I did it at Filipino Community Center in KCC.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be doing another one.
Next one.
Heck yeah.
Because we always down for the breaking scene. Not break dancing scene. The breaking scene.
Yeah. Man. And usually whenever I do events, I always make it free to the public. I just come in and I just make it donation based. If you like give
culture.
Because
that is the culture, but a culture, like, you know, how you're saying, like, you know, you couch to couch, friends of friends, you know, through the b-boy world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is like that, but that's how they do it, man. You know what I mean? You donate that time because you know this guy is, he's grinding. He's grinding right now.
I'll like say one last thing too before we end. I just want to give both of you guys a shout out, Brad. And this is real talk, myself, and speak really like Brad. Like thank you guys for creating a platform for people to come on and like sharing stories, like, you know, the uncles about the Kohu story thing. Like those stories, man, are things that people can learn from. And I appreciate you guys allowing this platform to have people on Maui, because, you know, we're all from here. We find these stories are important to us. And I just want to say, show appreciation, give you guys your flowers, bro. Like, bro, it's
thank
super
you,
solid. And not only that too, bro, I love and respect, and I love seeing Maui boys winning. And putting effort into things and like really trying to like chase something. And that's super solid, but I just want to let you guys know.
Hey, first of all, we appreciate that, man. But I feel like you said, man, like a lot of Maui people, I don't know what it is. Like when Maui boys winning, we were quick to bring somebody down, man. So like, pick the guys up, man. Everybody, let's all rise up, man. I noticed a lot of, not all Maui people, but you know, when they see brothers, you know, making it or whatever, you know, they kind of like,
I know that kind of people you're talking about.
Like, let's bring each other all up, bro.
And we just aloha everybody, because for some way, somehow aloha come back, no matter how it does, but you know, just aloha everybody.
That's automatic.
Yeah, bro. And before we head out, thank you for coming on, my brother.
And maybe you might see us at your shows, or even back, because we would love to have you like us commentating you dancing, man. Look at you dancing, you'd be like, oh, man, what was that?
Be commentators, bro. It'd be so hilarious to have. I like to come back one time. You should do reaction videos or something like that, bro.
I got you.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, bro. Much aloha to you guys. Thank you guys for allowing me to into your holiday, and you know, for the hospitality, guys.
Thank you guys, and everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Automatic.
Follow these people. Support local, bro. This is real talk, real conversations with real two brothers right over here trying to make it work. Follow me on Instagram at Wahoo Breaks. Follow my Instagram for my crew page, the 808 Breakers.
808 Breakers.
Come support us. We are for the youth. We are for the Aina. We are for the people, and we like to do things for the community. Much love and aloha and blessings to everybody.
That's the realest right there. Real talk Maui. We out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man.